It's Monday morning. You just sent your boss a project update. Took you all weekend. You're proud of it. Your boss replies to someone else's 2-line email first, in 30 seconds, with 3 sentences of genuine enthusiasm. You wait. Your message sits there. An hour passes. You get a thumbs up. You tell yourself you're reading into it. You tell yourself it doesn't mean anything. It means everything. That wasn't a busy morning. That was a hierarchy. Invisible, unspoken, and already decided. And you've been living inside it without knowing the rules. This video is the rules. You work in an office, physical or remote, doesn't matter. You show up. You deliver. You hit your deadlines. You don't complain. You don't cause problems. And somewhere on your team, there's a person who seems to just move differently. They float into conversations you weren't invited to. They get assigned the work that actually gets seen. When they speak in meetings, your boss tilts slightly forward. And when you speak in meetings, your boss nods, moves on. Sometimes doesn't even nod. So you do what every rational person does. You work harder. You stay later. You sharpen the deck, improve the output, volunteer for the extra project. You believe, genuinely believe, that performance is the lever. Pull it hard enough, and something will shift. That belief is costing you years. Not because hard work is wrong, but because you are solving the right problem in the wrong system. The system your boss operates inside was never designed around your output. It was designed around something much older, much less fair, and almost completely invisible. Here's what nobody says out loud in American corporate culture. Your boss sorted you within the first 90 days. Possibly faster. No meeting. No announcement. Nothing was written down. But neurologically, relationally, it happened. 40 years of organizational research has a name for this. It's called Leader-Member Exchange Theory, LMX. And what it tells us is that every manager, regardless of how fair they believe themselves to be, naturally divides their team into 2 groups. The in group gets information early, access to informal decisions, protection when they fail, and opportunities before those opportunities are ever announced. The out group gets the job description, executed with perfect precision, to almost no effect. And here is the number that should make you stop scrolling. A survey of over 300 U.S. executives found that 56% already had a favorite picked before promotion discussions officially began. 96% of them promoted that person anyway. The review process happened. The interviews happened. The calibration sessions happened. All of it, after the decision was already made. So how do you actually know where you've been placed? Here's what it looks like in real American offices, right now. Pay attention, because most people only notice sign number 7, by which point it's been true for 2 years. Sign 01. You find out about decisions after they've already been shaped, not after they're made, after they've been shaped. There's a difference. The favorite was in the room when the thinking happened. You get the finished announcement. You can react to it, but you can't influence it. And your reaction will always feel slightly late, because it is. This is just one piece of what's really happening at work. Like it so more people wake up. Share it with a colleague who needs this reality check. Subscribe Workplace Decoded to start playing smarter, not just harder. Sign 02. Your boss explains the favorite's failures, but records yours. Same missed deadline. Different meaning. When the favorite slips, your boss says, they're dealing with a lot right now. When you slip, it becomes a pattern. A data point. Something mentioned in the next one-on-one as context. This is not random. This is attribution bias, operating exactly as designed inside an unequal relationship. Sign 03. You get feedback. They get advocacy. Your boss tells you what to improve. Your boss tells their boss what the favorite is capable of. You are being developed. The favorite is being sponsored. Those are not the same career. Feedback improves your performance. Advocacy changes your trajectory. You are receiving one of these things. Sign 04. The high visibility work never quite reaches you. It's not that you get bad projects. You get solid, competent, forgettable projects. The work that gets presented to senior leadership, the work that ends up in the quarterly business review, the work that gets a name attached to it in the room where decisions happen, that work has a different address. And it's not yours. Invisibility isn't a punishment. It's a default setting for the outgroup. Sign 05. Informal access is one-directional. Your boss and the favorite have conversations you don't even know are happening. Not secret meetings. Just a Slack message at 6 p.m. A quick call before the all-hands. Hey, what do you think about this? Those moments are where decisions are quietly shaped. You receive the outcome. The favorites help build it. Sign 06. Your ideas arrive after the favorites version does. You've said something in a meeting. A week later, the favorite says something adjacent. Your boss lights up. You sit there doing the math. This isn't theft, usually. This is timing. The favorite's ideas land in a context of trust. Yours land in a context of proof. The same sentence means something different, depending on who says it and what relationship sits underneath the words. Sign 07. Your one-on-ones are tactical. Theirs are strategic. The favorite talks about where the team is going, what leadership is thinking, what the company actually needs. Your boss is managing you. And on the other hand, your boss is investing in them. The agenda of a one-on-one tells you exactly which category you occupy if you're paying attention to what isn't being discussed. Sign 08. You are praised publicly, but overlooked structurally. And then the structural decisions. Budget, headcount, title, project assignment consistently favor someone else. Public praise costs nothing. Structural investment is the real signal. When you see the gap between those two things, you're looking at your actual position in the hierarchy. So why does this happen? Not because your boss is corrupt, not even because they're consciously playing favorites. This is something older. Your boss is sorting by 3 things, and none of them are your quarterly numbers. First, reflection. Your boss is drawn to the person who thinks the way they think, who frames problems in familiar language, who signals, without ever saying it, I understand your world. The favorite isn't the most talented. The favorite is the person who makes the boss feel most understood. That's not leadership. That's psychology operating on autopilot. Second, utility. Your boss has political needs that have nothing to do with you. They need to look capable to their boss. They need wins they can take credit for. They need someone who makes them more powerful without threatening them. The moment you become more capable than your boss in a visible way, you often stop being useful and start being inconvenient. Third, proximity. Research on U.S. workplaces consistently shows that employees who are physically or digitally closer to their managers get more access, more opportunity, and more favorable evaluations, independent of performance. The person who catches your boss in the hallway, who replies at 7 a.m., who jumps on the optional call, isn't more productive. They're optimizing for visibility. And your boss, even a well-meaning one, responds to that signal like a reflex. You've been optimizing for output. The favorite is optimizing for proximity, reflection, and utility. Those are different games, and you've been losing one you didn't know you were playing. So what actually changes this? Not performance, not a better presentation, not finally cracking the right metric. The sorting happens on identity signals, how your boss perceives your thinking, your judgment, your worldview, not on output signals. Which means the only thing that shifts your position is shifting how your boss experiences you as a thinker, not as a doer. That means being in the room where context gets built, not just where results get delivered. It means making your boss's problems feel like your problems, not your assignments. It means asking questions that make them think, rather than answers that make them nod. And if you've been in the outgroup for long enough that the categorization is fixed, some are. The more honest move isn't to fight your way into someone's in-group. It's to find a new boss. One for whom the slot is still open. One where the first 90 days haven't happened yet. Because some doors were never going to open from the inside. Not because you lacked the ability to walk through them, but because you were never given a key. So the question isn't whether you're good at your job. It's whether you're being seen as someone worth investing in. You've been holding this in at work because you can't say it out loud there. Say it here. What's the one thing your boss did or didn't do that finally made it obvious you weren't the favorite? Comment below. This is the one place you can actually say it. The most dangerous idea in American corporate culture isn't that the system is rigged. It's that the system rewards performance so consistently, so confidently, that millions of people spend the best years of their careers trying to outperform their way into a game that was never scored that way. Your boss already has a favorite. They had one before you walked in, and they'll have one after you leave. The question was never whether you were good enough. The question was whether you were optimizing for the thing that was actually being measured. You weren't told what that was. Most people never are. Now you know. What you do with that part is yours.